Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl opened at number 1 at the box office and absolutely demolished Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Thanks for tuning in to this weekend's box office winners. Now before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss what movies are killing it at the box office. Now let's dive into the numbers. Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl debuted in the US with a $33 million debut, and allied to its $13 million debut internationally, the film made $46 million globally. And this marks Taylor's second number 1 hit at the box office after the Eras Tour made $92.8 million when it debuted in 2023. Now, while that was a much higher debut, remember that the Eras Tour was a full concert experience with fan favorite songs, while Showgirl functions more as a new album celebration film. So yes, some fans went to the theater to celebrate with Taylor, while others celebrated at home. Still, Swift made history as the only artist ever to have the number 1 album and number 1 movie in the same weekend. And this is a huge achievement as Taylor now holds the top 2 biggest openings ever for a music or documentary film, surpassing Justin Bieber's Never Say Never film, which debuted to $29.5 million. And what's even more impressive is that The Life of a Showgirl movie was only announced 2 weeks prior to its debut, so it had no trailer, and that $46 million debut came strictly from online buzz. The film also scored an A+ cinema score similarly to the Eras Tour film, meaning that fans who did show up loved it. On Post-Track, it's sitting at an 82% definite recommend, a 93% positive score, and a 5-star rating across the board. Now let's talk audience breakdown. Women made up 88% of ticket buyers, with the 18 to 34 age group at 61%. And the diversity demos were as follows: 70% Caucasian, 70% Latino/Hispanic, 7% Asian American, and 2% African American. Premium formats were popular as well, as 28% of the audience saw the film in Dolby, since one battle after another still held on to the IMAX screens. Speaking of other films, let's check out the rest of the top 10. In second place was One Battle After Another, making another $11.1 million in weekend 2 and dropping a healthy 49%. It's made $42 million domestically, and it has surpassed $100 million worldwide. And despite the film having a $130 million budget, strong word of mouth and award season should keep the film afloat. At number 3 was newcomer The Smashing Machine by A24, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which opened to a disappointing $6 million debut. It received a terrible B- cinema score and only a 48% definite recommend, plus a 72% positive rating. The film also skewed male at 70%, with 64% of the audience being between the ages 18 to 34. And its diversity breakdown was as follows: 53% Caucasian, 27% Latino/Hispanic, 8% African American, and 8% Asian American, showing that the few people who did go to see it didn't quite enjoy the film. At number 4 was Gabby's Doll House, which brought in another $5.2 million in weekend 2, but dropping a harsh 62%. The film has made $32 million worldwide, but it has a $32 million budget, so profitability may come into focus once it hits digital. At number 5 was The Conjuring Last Rite, which made another $4 million in weekend 5 and dropped a healthy 40%. It's now a $167 million domestic and $458 million worldwide, and is likely to hit $500 million globally, which is just astonishing for horror. At number 6 was Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, which added another $3.5 million in weekend 4 and dropped a healthy 51% from last weekend. It's now made $124 million domestic and $633 million worldwide to become the 6th highest grossing film of 2025. At number 7 was Avatar: The Way of Water's re-release, which made $3.1 million on strictly premium screens. Now, this isn't huge, but it's solid for a re-release, especially in anticipation for Avatar 3, which is arriving this December. At number 8 was The Strangers Chapter 2, which added another $2.8 million in weekend 2, dropping 52% from last weekend, once more showing that this franchise continues to decline. While at number 9 was Good Boy from IFC Films, which debuted to $2.2 million, a respectable debut from the indie distributor. And rounding out the top 10 was The Long Walk, which made another $1.7 million, dropping 49% from last weekend. And that wraps up this weekend's box office, as Taylor Swift completely embarrassed The Rock. Let me know in the comments what movie, if any, did you see in theaters this weekend? And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can tune in next weekend, where we'll see Tron Ares, Roofman, and The Kiss of the Spider Woman debut in theaters. And as always, keep watching.